Good afternoon, and welcome to today's Uplift with Vision. I'm Reverend Jeanne Phillips, and it's my delight to lead you in today's Uplift. Thanks for joining us today. And as we always do, let's begin in prayer. So just settling into that place of peace, that place where the divine abides. One power, one presence, one life, the divine life, always moving into a greater expression of itself. Its love, its wholeness, its wisdom, its power. It is spirit, rooted within all. It's living its life in me, as me, for me, and as I know this for me, I know that it is this for each and every person listening with me right now, joining me in this prayer, joining heart to heart. Even as we shelter in place, Spirit, God, is right here, guiding, supporting, supplying all that we need within each and every moment. I know there is a movement for good underway in each of our lives and throughout the world, knowing it is the energy that is healing the world and the earth. So I just surrender this time to the powerful work of Spirit with confidence and faith. And so it is. So I say, Amen. So I've been working in the garden these days, working with my succulents and flowers, and I thought a good topic for today has to do with rooting in the divine. Rooting in the divine. That just sounded good. You know, I am just constantly amazed by nature and its work. You know, take seeds, for example. They say that they grow, but in reality, they're not growing. They don't grow into big boulders. What they're doing is unfolding, right? They're unfolding into the shape that allows life to flow through it, to flow through the plant. They're actually portals for a greater expression, vessels, right, for their essence to find form. I'm just thinking of the time-lapse photography where you see a plant coming up and standing and then just full bloom, and it's just absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. And then there's the invisible piece under the ground, deep below the surface, those roots that, you know, they're like tendrils out there gathering the nutrients, the water, everything they need to sustain and to grow and to build. You know, it's truly magical. It becomes a stalk and a branch and a leaf and a berry. It really is amazing. And it makes me think, okay, so what about us? What about us? You know, we can move. We're not stationary. So where are our roots? Where do we find that sustenance and that nourishment so that we can unfold into that greater expression? And of course, the answer is it's the same root that the plant has, that the animals have, that rocks, that minerals, that even the stars have. The root is the divine spirit. For we are all rooted in the divine. We are the portals to unfold, the vessel for that greater expression. We house the roots of the divine. And we're also the wings of expression. Roots and wings. I love that. I love that term. You know, there is that invisible force within us that's always guiding us, that internal GPS, God positioning system, right? It's a force that's always gently pushing and pressing in for us to be more, to be greater, to be more, to live more, to accept more. Here's how Ernest Holmes describes it. He says, there is a life force, an energy and intelligence seeking an outlet through everything. There is an irresistible urge back of everything to create, to express life. There is an emotional craving for self-expression in everything. Love that. An irresistible urge back of everything to create and express life. An emotional craving for self-expression in everything. You know, that is the spiritual truth. And we're born knowing it. And then we spend our lifetime just remembering it over and over and over again. Remembering it and reminding each other of it, I think. That's what life is all about. You know, it's that life force that Ernest Holmes was talking about when he said, there is a presence of love and power for good in the universe, and we can use it. A power for good in the universe, and we can use it. You know, so at the deepest level, I absolutely know that I am safe, that I am loved, that I am guided, and that I am eternal. And that doesn't stop me from being times of being afraid and insecure and overwhelmed and wanting to take control of things and all the human things and doings that we do, right? But the truth is, that truth is always accessible. It's right there. It's right there when I just take a breath. Or meditate. Or pray. There is that peaceful place I can go to that's always there. You know, and I think we all know that place. And that we have that deep level knowing of this life force that is within each of us. It's our root, right? It's what carries us through those times when life is more like a pretty wild roller coaster ride, right? And we're just desperately trying to hang on. But if we're solidly grounded in spirit, we're able to fluidly and gracefully move through those times, through all of our experiences, good and bad. Right? Trusting and allowing that inherent gift, the blessings of balance, allowing them to emerge. I came across an interesting lesson from the trees the other day. You know, years ago, there was a great experiment in the desert called the biodome. I don't know if you remember this, but it was a huge glass dome built to create the perfect artificial living environment. It had purified air and water and healthy soil and filtered light and everything needed for the ideal growing conditions for the trees and the fruits and the vegetables, and even for the people, because there were people who lived there for months at a time as part of this experiment. And everything went very well, with one exception. When the trees would reach a certain height, they'd topple over. And the scientists were baffled. They're like, okay, what's missing here? And what it is they forgot the wind. The wind. It turns out that trees need wind to blow against them so that they then grow their roots further down. And that's what stabilizes them so they can grow tall. Right? Go figure. So what's the lesson here? What can we learn? Well, I just have to say, how many times have I prayed for, and you've prayed for, the perfect growing environment for ourselves, right? You know, the one that with no stress or challenge or tension, just everything love and light. That's what we want. Well, maybe we can learn a lesson from the trees here. That tree accepts the strong wind as a blessing to help it grow, So what if we learn to see the blessing in our challenges and in our stresses and even in this time that we're in right now? Maybe we could bend and sway when the winds of discontent blow against us. Well, maybe that will deepen our spiritual roots so we can grow deep and stand tall in our faith. Rumi has a great poem, talks a little bit about this. He says, sorrow prepares you for joy. It violently sweeps everything out of your house so that new joy can find space to enter. It shakes the yellow leaves from the bough of your heart so that fresh green leaves can grow in their place. It pulls up rotten roots so that new roots hidden beneath have room to grow. Whatever sorrow shakes from your heart, far better things will take their place. Yeah, far better things are in store. And yet, we cling to the old, right? The old, the worn, the things that probably don't serve us any longer. We still want things back the way they used to be, right? Can we bring back the old norm, the old normal? We cling to the old rather than creating the space for the next phase of our growth to take form. Ernest Holmes put it this way. He says, we cannot change the fact that whatever we put into mind will be reflected back to us, but we can change that which is reflected. We can uproot the old. We can implant the new. We can neutralize what's already there. Uproot the old and implant the new and neutralize what's already there. You know, that's our work. That's our purpose. And so that's my invitation to you. I invite you to ground yourself in the divine, to deepen your roots and spread those wings, right? Because really, we're here to fly. Yeah. So let's ground all this in prayer once again. So grateful for this time, for this opportunity to share this time. The chance to plant new ideas, to deepen our roots in spirit, to embrace all life, just as it is, just as it is not. I know that God is right here, right now, guiding, protecting, supporting, and supplying, that all is well, all is good, all is God. I'm so grateful for this, and allow it to be, and so it is. So meanwhile, don't forget to tune in tomorrow for another Uplift, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Namaste.